Imagine owning a really beautiful picture, but only allowing people to see a tiny section of it. Be crazy, wouldn't it? Well, that in effect is what media interviewees do when they allow journalists and their questions to focus only on the detail. It may be an important detail, it may well be a controversial detail, it may well be worth discussing, but it is just that, a detail, and it can obscure the bigger picture. So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can show people the bigger picture. I was reminded of the need to focus on the bigger picture, not by pondering the enigmatic smile of the Mona Lisa, but whilst listening to an interview on the Today programme with the Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan. He was being interviewed about ULEZ, the ultra low emission zone, which is of course hugely controversial, particularly for those people who live in London and who find themselves having to pay an eye-watering amount each day to get from A to B. He was interviewed for 9 minutes. He was asked 9 or 10 questions, and none of those questions was directly related to the health benefits of introducing ULEZ. He did a pretty good job at the start. I can show you here on this screen, the little bit highlighted in white is where he was talking about those health benefits. The fact that 4,000 deaths a year can be ascribed to air pollution, for example, the fact that young people have stunted lungs forever as a consequence of growing up in a polluted city. But for the rest of the interview, pretty much, apart from a couple of goes at getting back to the big picture at the end, he was entirely driven by the questions. And those questions, as I say, focused on the financial and the political consequences of ULEZ rather than on the big health picture. My argument is that it's your responsibility as an interviewee to make sure that people don't lose sight of the bigger picture. And what that means in practical terms is that every single response pretty much has to be seized as an opportunity not just to address the narrow point, but to zoom out to the bigger picture. So that yes, at the beginning, but also at the end, and ideally somewhere in the middle of that interview, you are actually reinforcing the whole reason for something. Otherwise, you can spend too much time talking about not what matters, but what I describe as antimatter. Don't focus on the antimatter, focus on what really matters. Make sure that you focus on the bigger picture.